So no video can capture, no single video can capture the entire concept of anything. It is a continuous form of lectures. uh, Whatever I feel like expressing, discussing with you, that will be done in the videos. And continuously I will be uploading videos one after another. And it's not like covering a particular sort of syllabus, or it's like a exam oriented uh, lecture where I will be covering the syllabus of any particular college, or any particular reference book. It will be like a wide uh, lecture covering many aspects with object-oriented programming language and software development, application development. So the if we come to the thing that I would like to say, that the advantage of object-oriented programming, there are many. Like in object-oriented programming, we can directly map the real-world object. Suppose you can see the pen here. This is one object. So in computer, if I want to represent that pen in the programming environment, so in function-oriented programming, this is directly I cannot create a data structure like that. Or when I say data structure, it is like composite, like a collection of bundle information which actually represents the pen as a whole. So this is possible in object oriented programming language. You will find when we'll do practical, when we'll do write program, when we'll create objects, you will find I am creating an object in object oriented programming language. In this case we are using C++. In C++ we will be writing program where I can represent this pen in programming environment. And when I can store, or uh, when I can model this pen in programming language, then I can manipulate the information. I can manipulate the information with the with the operation what we call function. So one pen or any object is having two parts. One is called data part, another is called function part. So that data is actually expressing the data is expressing or discussing about the object when we feel that object. And the function or the behavior, which what can be done with this object, or how can we manipulate that information related to that object. So in this case, suppose I have a pen. So again I'm discussing like what I did in the previous lecture, that what is object, what is class. So here see the pen is a digital drawing pad pen. The digital drawing pad, the name of the digital drawing pad is XP Pen Deco 3. So in this case this is the pen. So the name of the pen, so name of the pen is one information. This is XP Pen. And the length of the pen, then the grip quality, what the type of the grip quality, then tip, then this button, how many buttons are available on the pen, so what the color of the pen, the price of the pen. So this way there are many info, the weight of the pen, the diameter of the pen, where how when we hold the pen, when it like hold the pen like that. So this case there are many of information associated with this pen. Now with those information we actually understand the pen when we express the pen. Yeah, so when you are given you are asked to express to talk about this pen, what you will be talking about? You will be talking about like what is the name of the pen, and color of the pen, weight of the pen, the diameter of the pen, grip type, then cost. So these are the information. So we call these information the properties of the object. So the what will be the action part or the behavior part or function part, same thing. So we can write. So write, pen can be used to write. So write, then sometime erase. With this digital pen you can erase also, because there is an option. You can use it this as if you want to see the tab also, so you will be writing, so write, and sometime when you want to erase, so you will press and you will erase that. So this way you can use. So information or data or function. So any object can be categorized into two parts. One is called data and function. So this is the real object what I discussed about, and that can be directly this architecture is available in object-oriented programming paradigm. In C++, we can create a pan object where we will be keeping the information as data in the program, and we will be keeping the information of the function which is associated with this object in the programming. So this is the concept of real world object will be like stored or will be represented in computer programming. So why do we represent real world object? Because when we can represent the real world object in computer, means we are creating a digital information digitally or virtually represented those objects in the computer. So objects, I said that objects are actually combined, and it's a combination which creates which is actually associated with many problem means any task, real world situation, real world task, real world problem can be which has to be solved in computer. In that case, suppose banking, so manually the banking system, it was totally manual. Now everything is electronic, everything is digital, means everything is done in computer. So in that case, the banking system has objects like customers. Every customer is object, the bankers, the clerk, and the managers, and the banking the facilities, there are many other things, then ATMs, many things associated with banking. So everything is actually object, and those objects, the way they perform, the way they behave in the real world, the way we manipulate those objects in the real world, that will be done in the computer. And same similarly will do in the computer. Will manipulate, will deal with the objects, and will find out our solution. So I have been talking about the banking system. So if we represent the banking system in object-oriented model, so how it will look like? Then in the object-oriented model about the banking system, there will be customer, which will be customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, like that. Those will be the customer objects. Every object is existing there. Suppose I am a customer, you are a customer, so customer 1, customer 2. So these are the objects. And suppose a banker 1, banker 2, banker 3, like that. So every customer is having some information, that is called data, and every customer is having those information, and that information need to be manipulated, because in that case your information is your name, your address, your phone number, your account number, your balance, how much money you have, then your signature. There are many information which is associated with you, and how your information will be manipulated. See, when you deposit, means you customer 1 and your balance. So customer 1 dot or customer 1's balance. So balance will be your information, so that has to be manipulated, means balance has to be updated. It will be increased by amount which you are actually deposited. So when your balance is 100,000 rupees, you want to add 500 rupees, your new balance will be 1,500. So in this case, the data or the information which are manipulated by the function. So you are an object, and you have two parts: your information in banking system computer, and your function which is associated with only you, not with other person, so which can manipulate your own data. So in that case, this total group together, the data and function together, we call it encapsulation. This means wrapping up, means bundle of information and function, data and function together, we call it encapsulation. And by doing that encapsulation, we actually hide the information inside the bundle from the outside access. in case of function oriented programming language, I told that data is global, any function can manipulate that data. But in case of object oriented programming language, the functions which are associated with that object only can manipulate that information of any particular object. Like in case of you as a customer, you will never want that your balance to be modified by other person, to be modified accidentally. In that case, your your information need to be protected. So function object oriented programming, this total platform is providing you that security, and that is done by the encapsulation, and we call it data hiding. In object oriented programming language, we call it data hiding. So up to this, we understood what is object, what is class. We discussed about class or class, and we discussed about data member or data. We discussed about function, and we discussed about encapsulation, means grouping those data and function together in a single unit, which is called object, is called encapsulation. And we discussed data hiding. So this lecture is almost it is more than half an hour, so I don't want to continue. So in the next lecture, I will be discussing the other features of object-oriented programming language, and with practical examples, and then eventually we'll go to the programming section. We'll do many more things in object-oriented programming language. So the last, I always say that when you want to learn anything, it will take time, means learning takes time. So stay tuned at Learn Digital, where I have been giving lectures on object-oriented programming. Previously, I uploaded few lectures on C programming. So I'm trying to create repository of a basic fundamental classes on computer science, different subjects or different concepts. So thank you.